Hello everyone, my name is Courtney and I'm going to take you through our poster, Work and Memory Dependence, Contextual Cueing and Change Detection. Target objects in our real world are always surrounded by other objects forming a global context or scene. So, when we enter a familiar environment, our search is faster as it is guided by our knowledge from previous visits. Whereas when we enter a novel environment, our search will be slower as we have never seen this context before. In the lab, visual search can be facilitated by repeating the spatial configurations of stimuli. This is also known as contextual cueing. Previous research has found that visual search is faster and more accurate in repeated as compared to novel global contexts. However, the majority of research surrounding contextual cueing has looked at visual search tasks, overlooking the role of work and memory. Therefore, we wanted to look at work and memory directly and ask the question, does contextual cueing improve work and memory performance in change detection? We used a change detection task. There were two conditions, a 2-colour and a 4-colour condition. The side in which the participant had to focus on was alternated between the blocks. So in the example on our poster, participants had to memorise the colours on the left side, retain these in memory for 1000 milliseconds and then compare them to a test display, where either the colours were the same or one of them had changed. To measure contextual cueing effects, half of the memory displays in each block were identical in colour and location. These were repeated trials. And the other half of the memory displays were completely random in colour and location, and these were novel trials. So the question is it easier for participants to memorise the repeated learned displays as compared to a novel display? Looking at the results of 24 participants, for accuracy rates, we found a significant difference between the repeated and novel contexts in both load conditions, where participants were more accurate in the repeated displays. We also measured K values, which is a measure of work and memory capacity. We found a significant difference between the repeated and novel contexts in both load conditions, where participants actually remembered more items in the repeated displays. We also looked at electrophysiological evidence measuring the contralateral delay activity, CDA, which is a neural marker of work and memory. We found a significant CDA for the novel context, both in the 2 and the 4-colour condition, indicating that participants found it more effortful to remember these novel contexts. We also found a significant difference between the repeated and novel contexts in both load conditions, suggesting that participants found the repeated displays easier to remember than the novel ones. So, our findings state that learned global stimulus configurations directly affect our visual spatial work and memory capacity, and that previously observed contextual cueing effects in visual search may actually depend on implicit learning effects in visual spatial work and memory.